Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the delivery box called Blue Apron. I know that there's a few deliveries like this. It's a food delivery service. They give it to you every week. They basically give you the ingredients and then you cook it. I know that HelloFresh, Plated, there's one that's all organic and there's one that's vegan. I can't remember what that one's called, but as soon as I do, I'll make sure that I let you know. But I'm going to talk about Blue Apron. So Blue Apron, basically, you sign up for a weekly delivery. They give you technically 3 meals made for 2 people, and they give you all of the ingredients that come in each meal. It doesn't come pre-prepared, so if you don't have knives and cutting boards and all that other shenanigans, make sure that you do before you actually order these things. So I tried it for, I think, 4 weeks now. If you have seen my first unboxing, that was the first one that I ever got. I got that box for $20 because there was a deal on Facebook that it was like, if you buy this, you get 5 meals for free, and I was like, sure, why not? So I tried it out. I really like it, especially since I really don't have that much time to go out shopping for food. My schedule is extremely hectic, and I really don't feel like going and shopping at the grocery store like 10 minutes before it closes and then grabbing everything that I need. But this is really cool because it introduces you to foods that you wouldn't normally think of to make, or what you wouldn't usually eat. What was the weirdest one that I've had? I think it was the pork chow chow. I don't even eat pork. Okay, so my first box, there was a fish, there was a chicken, and then there was a pork. I don't eat pork, but it looked really good. I made it. It was delicious. I was super happy with it. So anyway, I'm going to talk about what it is. I'm going to talk about what I made. I'm going to talk about my experience so far. So like I said, it's a food delivery service. You can sign up for it. It's originally, I believe, about $60. They take it out every week. And what you can do, they give you options of 6 meals that you can choose from. The problem with it is that you can't choose there's a weird combination. So let's say that there's all vegetarian meals. They do have vegetarian, so if you are a vegetarian, that's very good. They don't have vegan though, which kind of stinks. I'm trying to go towards a vegan lifestyle because I know that it's healthier, and I know that as soon as I switch to it, I would feel better, but I'm still in the transition because I like my cheese, and I haven't found anything that really substitutes cheese in the milk world. So anyway, they have vegetarian options and they have meat options. You can choose a vegetarian meal and a few meat meals, or you can choose all vegetarian, or you can choose all meat. The problem is that you can't choose the meals that you want. Let me rephrase that. You can choose the meals. There are 6 options, like I said. You get 3 meals in each box. But let's just say that you wanted to have a certain meal, but it wasn't good in that combo. I know that's what happened a few weeks ago. I kind of wanted this steak flatbread mixed with the Fontana grilled cheese and something else, but it didn't come in that combination. So it's really weird how it works. I hope that they kind of fix that problem, because I know that I would appreciate it more, that I could choose exactly what I want instead of kind of settling for what's there. But you can skip the meals, which is pretty cool. Let's say that you have a big birthday party or like a big gathering, because I know Thanksgiving is coming up, and you know that you're not going to probably eat the meals that are coming to your house. You can always skip, or even if you don't like the deliveries that are coming that time, you can skip it. So I think that's nice. They don't charge your card for that. It's kind of like a subscription box, exactly like a subscription box. So if you don't want it for that week, they won't charge you. Okay. So yes, they have all of the ingredients not pre-made. So like I said, if you don't have a zester or knives, I don't know who doesn't have knives, but I guess if you're like a college kid and you want to make food, nothing is pre-made. The only thing that is pre-made is if you get a pasta, that's all pre-made, of course, but they won't have the vegetables chopped up. They won't have the cheese grated for you. They won't have the stems taken off of the rosemary or the garlics or the herbs. So, yeah, you do get to learn to cook while you're doing this, which is pretty cool because it's kind of a trial and error. And if you have time, or if you're... Sorry about that, guys. Put that on silent. So if you don't know how to cook, kind of like I don't, I know how to bake. I don't necessarily know how to cook gourmet meals. It kind of gives you an insight on how to do it. I think that that's cool. I've never minced anything, so I learned how to mince. I didn't know that I had a zester, but before I knew how to zest, you can actually peel the skin off of whatever you're trying to zest and chop it up into itty bitty pieces. So yay! I kind of how to cook. It's kind of cool. The great thing about this is that it's a lot cheaper than if you were to go to the grocery store and get all of these individual elements all together. For the price of one meal that you would be cooking off of these recipes and getting the supplies and exactly what you need over there in the, I say over there because my grocery store is actually over that way, but in the grocery store, it costs the entire box. And the great thing about these boxes is that it says that it's made for 2, but really I could feed 3 to 4 people depending on how hungry everybody was. Really, I think that I had more leftovers than what I had to eat, which is cool, especially since I'm usually the only one eating these, so it's really 2 meals in one, so I have all of my meals covered for the week for me, because my fiance doesn't eat anything remotely healthy. So the great thing about this is that, like I said, they give you everything. But it also gives you pre-portioned things. Like if you need sherry vinegar, they're not going to give you an entire bottle of vinegar and then you're never going to use it again. They will give you little nips of vinegar. I wonder, do I still have it? No. Okay. Well, they had this cute little Tabasco sauce. I wish that I kept it. I used it all because I made, it was like Parmesan grated cheese and hash, and it was awesome. And then they gave me a little bottle of Tabasco sauce because a lot of people like Tabasco sauce with their eggs. So I thought that was cool. So everything that's mini like that is pre-portioned, like butter, cheese. They'll give you a full of, what is it called? I know that the small things are garlic cloves. I guess it's really just, they'll give you a full thing of garlic. So if you like garlic, you can add a little extra garlic or take away, or you can use for the rest of the box. It's pretty cool. They give you pre-portioned herbs, which would cost you like $5 for the size that they give you in the box. It would probably cost you $5 in the store. So that's pretty cool. Now, let me just say that before, they did not, my first box, if you could see, if you go back and watch my unboxing of my first box, they really didn't have a lot of things pre-packaged or labeled. After the first couple of boxes that I've gotten, now everything is really like neatly labeled. I don't have to guess like, oh, is this squash? Is this butternut squash? Is this shiitake mushrooms? Like, yeah. So now everything's labeled, which I think is cool. I don't know if they just recently started doing that, but I appreciate it. Okay, so I have been doing this for about 4 weeks. I think there's only 3 meals that I missed, and that was because, not 3 meals that I missed, but 3 meals that I did not make, but that was because I wasn't really in the mood to eat them. So, as soon as you get the meals, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta cook these now. But really, for the past couple of weeks, like, I haven't been wanting to cook, especially fish in my house. I hate it when my house gets all fishy smelling. But anyway, so that's what happened. I missed 3 meals out of them. But the good thing about that is that my boxes keep coming, and they're relatively a good variety of what you want to eat. If you actually have time, unlike me, you would probably appreciate that it teaches you how to cook, and it gives you an exact math to how to cook these meals. Me, when I get home, I'm starving, so it's really a hustle and a bustle for me. But I've learned that, smart thinker that I am, I can pre-cut everything, and then as soon as I get home, I can just start cooking. Yay for thinking. So sometimes the night before, if I know that I'm not going to have time the next day, especially since I teach classes at night, my classes do run long some nights, so if I know that it's going to be a really long night, all I have to do is just pre-cut everything the morning before, and then the next day it's perfectly portioned. I have them in little Ziploc baggies, and then I keep them in my fridge. That's what I do, and I feel like that's the smartest choice that I can do. The only thing that I would say is if you're going to start cutting them as soon as possible, it is fresh produce. Just keep in mind that once you get that box and you start cutting those things, they're going to go bad faster because you're taking them out of the package. You're putting them in a different package that might not be necessarily sealed airtight. So just keep those in mind if you do decide to take my hint and just pre-cut everything before you make them. Also, another thing is because they do have a lot of things that involve jalapenos and hot peppers and stuff like that, make sure that, I don't know if anybody else has a hassle of washing their hands, especially since my hands get extremely dry. But I use gloves. I bought a box of gloves. I thought that was the smartest thing for me to do, especially because you're transferring between hot peppers and then squash, and then, yeah, it's kind of a nightmare to get through. And then you have to wash your hands about 1,000,000 times. So just to cut down on time, you can always use gloves to cut these things. The bad thing is that if you don't realize that you're going to be cooking with a lot of oil or salt and pepper, and you don't have that on hand at your house, you're going to be kind of stuck. Like I said, I don't necessarily cook a lot, and the things that I do cook, I don't really use oil, olive oil, any kind of oil on that, because I really try to cut down on my oil intake, especially since olive oil prices are going up now. But I'm starting to eat avocado oil because it's a better fatty food. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, yeah, the first night that I started cooking, I said, oh, I need olive oil apparently. Didn't have it on hand, so I had to actually go over to my neighbor's house and borrow a cup of olive oil. So, yeah, that's kind of bad on their part, because I usually read everything through. I don't read necessarily the instructions until I'm ready to eat, but like if it says, good to have on hand, or should have at home, use salt and pepper, olive oil, I didn't have it. That was kind of dumb on my part, but I really don't cook. So, like, really, these things are made for people who don't cook. So the cool thing about this, let me show you. This is the butternut squash empanadas that I am probably going to be making tonight. It gives you all of these ingredients here, if you can see that. It gives you the empanada wraps, it gives you the cream fraiche, it gives you garlic, blah, blah, blah. That comes all in the box. It gives you exactly what you should have, so if you don't have the 6 wrappers, the Monterey Jack, or any of that, obviously they messed up. The cool thing about this is that it gives you instructions, like, oh, you should prepare your food, which I do. It tells you how to cook your meals. It shows you what it should look like, which is very helpful to me because, like I said, I don't really cook. But now I feel like I'm a master chef and I can just go on to Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen and I can be like, okay, Ramsay, I know what I'm doing. I feel like Emeril Lagasse, pow, bam. I don't know. Has anybody seen that show in a while? I haven't seen him in a while, but I used to love that show when I was little. Anyway, so I think that it's cool. It's cheaper than the grocery store. It's really, I just wish that you could really like pick the meals, and that they had a vegan option, because I don't know. I feel like you could do a lot of substitutions for the things, but it really calls for like, okay, well, you definitely need milk in this or else it's going to taste weird, which I guess you could choose almond milk or soy milk or whatever. But I don't have a lot of experience with cooking with almond milk or soy or anything like that, so I don't know what their boiling points are compared to regular milk, or if they curdle just as easily, or if, I don't know. So, I don't know. I think that it would just be smart for them to say, can substitute for blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So, I like it so far. I've tried it for the past 4 weeks. I have another one coming on Thursday. We're going to see how that one goes. The food is delicious. I loved everything that I made, even though things that were like kind of questionable about, oh, maybe I won't like that because I don't necessarily like tomatoes, or maybe, I don't know. So, but I mean, everything I've made was delicious, and I really feel like I could probably cook some people under the table. I just wish that there was more options or something, because I don't know, a lot of people are really picky eaters. If you're like my fiance and you can't even eat healthy things, he just, he gags at the taste of broccoli. It's annoying. So, I mean, it's good for me. I get extra meals out of it. But anyway, it's really good. I have tried, this week I'm trying a caramelized onion quiche, and a few other things. I think spicy pork burgers with goat cheese, and I think some fish. Can't remember. So hopefully I feel better by then. I apologize for how I sound and that I'm sniffling every 5 seconds, but I feel awful today. I think my fiance got me sick. And, alright. Well, if you have any questions, or if you want to see some of my delicious creations that I've made, I have some posted up on Instagram. I Snapchat them all the time, every time I make a meal. So add me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat. I'll put down the link below, or at least my username, because it's really not hard to miss. So guys, thank you for listening to me. Really, if you have any questions about the things that I subscribe to, like Adore Me, I kept my Just Fab subscription, but I'm not using it for right now. If you have questions about Blue Apron, I am not sponsored by any of these. I'm just honestly giving my opinion on them. I know a lot of people look these up and see if they're good. Personally, I think that it's good. There's just not a lot of options. But anyway, yay! Alright guys, thanks for listening to me ramble for the past 20 minutes. Alright, love you, see you next week. Bye!